I appreciate you saying that. I can tell you it was not your fault, but the point is, again, when the reason that we're excited about this partnership program is that we could really make real life people across the United States successful. But here's the other piece you have to understand. When you're partnering with us, we also mitigate what Julie just talked about, the downside of this business. Now, this is funny. It's happening. I told you, I saw these things. I'm not going to use his name, but I told him I'm going to talk about him today. We got a partner that we're doing a deal with, right? And we're about ready to split some money. I'm not sure how much, $20,000, $30,000. It's his first deal. And this deal, like every other deal, it just kind of had some issues come up. We battled through some things. We had to change contractors. We had unforeseen construction that needed to be done. We had a person that was going to buy it that tied up the property for a couple months that ended up backing out. Again, these are not really problems to Julie and I. This is real estate. I mean, this is what real estate's all about. Very few deals are what we call vanilla deals, kind of like see deal, do deal, sell deal. That's cool in a manual. That's cool when you go to like a webinar or seminar where someone's trying to pitch you something and sell you something and then get out of town so they don't have to see the repercussions of what they're selling you. But the reality is that's not real estate. Every deal is a battle. I mean, every deal you're climbing a mountain. So now we got a local partner who is just doing his first deal with us. We're going to split a bunch of money. It's more money he's ever made in his life. It's going to get him retired from his job, actually. It's really cool. And like I said, I'm not going to use his name, but I told him I'm going to use you as an example. So like a couple hours ago, I get a text from him, and he said something like this. God, I wish I erased it because I erased my text. He said something like this. And we're on our way to doing our second deal. We're about ready to close on our second deal with him. And he said, gosh, I've been thinking about this, Pete, and here's what I'm thinking. I got a buddy of mine who I've known forever who we wanted to do business with. So he's a partner of mine now. And so we got a little money saved up for a down payment. So now, really, instead of using you as a partner, because remember, he's got to give 50% to this new partner of his. So he's like, Pete, I don't know if this new deal we're doing, I don't know if it really makes sense for us to do a deal with you. Because, we love you. We appreciate everything you did. But I got to give 50% of my 50% to this guy. And, we got some money for down payment. We've seen how you guys have done this deal. So he said it was actually a really eloquently written text. He said, listen, I still want to get you involved somehow, but what would you do? So I'm at the gym. I call him up. I'm like, dude, so let me see let's just logic this thing out. I asked him, how much experience does your partner have that you want to bring in? He said, well, he's a lifelong friend of mine. I said, okay, how many deals has he done? He's done 0 deals. I said, okay, so let's get this straight. You got a partner like us who's done over 3,000 deals, is doing dozens and dozens of deals a month, you 100% of all the money, who's got people behind the scenes handling everything that you're not even realizing because you have a full-time job, which is totally fine with us. And so you're giving 50% to us as that partner. And you take us out of it and you want to replace us with another 50% partner. So you're not going to make any more money with your partner, but your partner has 0 experience, no money, is a little bit younger than you, and oh, by the way, he doesn't even live in your market. He has to move to your market, so he doesn't even understand your market. And then the phone went dead for a minute because I just, just kind of boom. It's like hitting a car and you're like, it takes a second and then you're like, oh shit, I just got in a car wreck. And he just thought about it. And he's like, yeah, that's a pretty stupid move, isn't it? But guys, listen again. And I told him, I said, look, you and I are going to be friends. You're a buddy of mine. We laughed about it. And of course, he's like, okay, that's stupid. I'm definitely not going to do that. And I said, listen, if you want to be a partner with your buddy, give your 50%. Okay? You don't have to give up a relationship over this. Don't confuse relationships with making money. Don't confuse being a buddy with making a business decision. And really, here's what it came down to. He wouldn't even, he didn't want to give 50% to us and then 50% of his 50% to someone else. So he just kind of said it out loud. Man, I just got greedy. I get it. That's exactly what it was. It's a very limiting thought when people get greedy in this business. And I'm around people all the time that get greedy. I promise you, being in real estate, I mean, it's just like people gravitate towards you. So boom. It's like they see you, someone's become successful, and it's like, boom, they attract, you attract them. So I could see it, but, it's like you got to learn how to make decisions. And in real estate, you never want to make a decision based upon a deal. Never want to make a decision based upon one deal. It's no different than going to get a haircut and thinking I'm going to get one haircut for the rest of my life. So I better maximize. It better be the best freaking haircut I've ever gotten. So I'm going to fly to like Israel to get it. No, you have to get another haircut like a month down the road. And if you go to Israel today, that means that means a month from now you're going to fly to Israel, and it makes like no sense whatsoever to be getting your haircuts in Israel. Right? So you would never make that decision, right? And in real estate, for some reason, people lose all sense of reality. They lose all sense of, long term. They make their long-term decision based upon some very short-term facts. Mm-hmm. And, sure, if you're not partnering with us, you could potentially go out there and execute your own deal, get the deal done, potentially make a little bit more. But think about this, and if I'm going to use this story as an example. We're cashing out our first deal. We're closing it off here shortly. We're going to split a bunch of money. But in that deal, we started out with this profit, and we're ending up with this profit. It always happens. It always amazes me when people are trying to grab that piece of we started here, and we're ending here. And I was talking to this guy, and I said, well, listen, let's say those mistakes happened, and you were in a deal by yourself. Like, for instance, on that deal, what happened, we have the contractor opened up a wall and discovered something they didn't see or foresee when they were bidding the property out. It happens all the time. I mean, you like see through buildings. And that ended up being like a $10,000 mistake. I said, could you have absorbed the $10,000 mistake? I'm like, no. Okay. I said, so that would have knocked you right out of that deal. Mm-hmm. This deal is taking an extra 2 to 3 months to complete. I said, you had your own mortgage on it, and you were making a $1,500 a month payment. Now, I know you had enough money for a down payment, but did you have an extra $4,000 for an extra 3 or 4 month payment? And you're like, no. I said, okay, so contracting thing would have put you out of business. Extra 3 months in the business would have put you out of business. And it's just on and on and on and on and on. So in reality, the reason that we wanted to do this webinar is not just so we could do more deals, which we do want to do. In reality, the reason we wanted to do this is just bring some basic facts to you all. And really, as you guys are thinking, well, gosh, do I want to, next time I get a great deal, or or maybe some of y'all are like, should I, work with Peter and Julie in their partner-driven coaching program? Do I need their expertise in how to find a deal? Do I need their expertise in how to secure a deal, how to negotiate a deal, how to negotiate a deal, how to inspect a deal, how to hire a contractor for a deal, how to hire a realtor for a deal, how to supervise a contractor, how to fire a potential contractor, how to create, a flow chart of what happens in a deal, how to potentially sell the deal, how to accept the deal upon a buyer in the back end or rejected buyer in the back end, how to go with an FHA loan in the back end or, turn that away or potentially lower offer, but maybe that's a conventional loan. I mean, million things that you got to understand. And I'm just going to tell you guys from personal experience, it is much better to split a $10,000 profit 2 ways of a potential $20,000 profit yourself. Any day. When I got started in this business, I did it myself. The reason I'm so adamant about this, our partnership program and our partner-driven coaching program, is I live the value that we provide. I lived it. You know, when I got started in this business, I came out of some fairly successful businesses that I had run. You know, I had to build a company that we franchised across the United States. I had developed developed when I got out, the largest mobile home brokerage in Georgia. So I had, you know, like a fairly good track record. What I did is I overlooked the absolute basic in this business when I got started. Like anyone to like strategize with and talk with and mentor me. I just forgot it because I was coming off a bunch of business successes and I jumped in and guess what? 6 months down the road, I lost $500,000. Now, I was fortunate enough that I was able to absorb it. And guess what? That's like 6 deals. That's not like 50 deals. That's not like 100 deals. That's not like 8 years. This is 6 short months and 6 quick deals, $500,000. Mm-hmm. And so the question so many of y'all have to ask yourself is how big of a loss can you take? When you're getting in this business, don't evaluate this business simply from the upside. When you're looking at a deal, don't evaluate this deal simply from, well, I could make 20 grand on this deal, or I could make 50 grand on this deal. A smart, astute investor evaluates an investment opportunity from both sides. What can you lose on this deal? And can you absorb it? Like this deal that Julie just talked about. I mean, give me a number, Julie. How much is that extra going to cost me when everything is said and done?
Probably $20,000.
$20,000. Now, do I like that absorbing it? I don't. Am I like excited that it's going to cost me 20 grand to fix a mistake? I'm not. But I could do it. And that's why we did that deal, because I understood the upside and I also was very realistic about a downside. Okay. You know, I'll tell you a story here. There were about, I don't know, a month or two, there were a couple of guys here that came in to see me. 3 young guys, you know, and they kind of talked their way into this. They didn't talk their way in office. They said, hey, Pete, we're doing a bunch of deals. We hear that you're partnering with people. We hear that you're actually coaching people through your partner-driven coaching program. We want to get our business to the next level. So they came in. We had what I thought was a great meeting. Like I showed them how they could turn $1 a profit into like $8 or $9 a profit. So like mathematically it made sense. And so we kind of just parted company. And then the goal was to then start doing some deals together. And a week later, I get a call from one of them, you know, and he's like, well, you know, we thought about it. And we're like, you know, we're already doing deals, and we don't want to give you 50% of the deals we're involved in, and blah, blah, blah. And it just, you know, you could see where that conversation went. And then I thought about it. You didn't come in here to continue doing what you're doing, because really that was their whole point. Their whole point was, hey, we're already doing deals, so why should we give you 50%? And I'm thinking, idiot. Here a week ago is because you want to do more deals. The reason you're here a week ago is because you want to be able to spend more money, you know? And so in the end, this kind of broke short-term thinking of me, I want more, it really, really limits people. And this is why in the end, in my opinion, most people never become successful in life. I mean, if you think about it like the uber successful people in life, I'm not talking about the guy making $1 million. I'm talking about the guy making $500 million. If you think about those people, all of them have very close, tight-knit people around them. You see one-man shows. I mean, look at it. Bill Gates had, who did he have? I forgot his guy. Steve Jobs had, one of them had Wozniak, one guy had the other guy. I mean, every one of these six, the Google guys, there's 2 of them. Every single, Buffett, there's a very, very close partner behind Warren that no one knows about. I mean, every single huge player, uber successful person has someone around them. They're splitting profits with those people. Those people aren't just hanging around. They're just not riding their coattails. And so as we talk to you all about our partner-driven coaching program or just the ability to partner with us, guys, when I say this is and when we say this is the best thing since sliced bread, this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally putting our money, our people, our experience, our infrastructure, our time, our resources, hour, and we're still splitting the profits 50-50 with you guys.
Hey, Peter, there's one thing that I want to add that's not just about profits when it comes to our coaching program is that in the beginning stages and whenever we're doing deals together, it's the minute details that we teach people to help them. I have a couple students going on appointments tomorrow. Well, I know exactly what time their appointments are. They have contracts ready to go, signed, okay? Just waiting to negotiate those deals, right? We do not leave our people to chance. I don't leave our people to chance to the fact that hey, if you get a deal, just call us one day. We have every one of our staff members working on their deals. You and I help them to negotiate these deals because, and I'm very clear when I tell people that if they are not successful, then our time together is wasted. So, whenever we have something in the pot to go along with them, it allows us the opportunity to help them more. The worst thing that could ever happen is for someone to work with us and not realize their full potential. Because if they're not successful, then why in the world would we want to ever work with somebody? And that's the thing that sits in the background is that I truly care and you truly care if they're successful or not. Because if they're not, then we're just going through the motions, and I don't have time for that, neither do you.
There's no question. There's no question about it. And again, a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, we really don't talk about this topic a lot. We're just trying to kind of, in essence, Julie and I on a weekly basis are trying to present ourselves from different angles. Because one day we may talk about, like today, the value of partnership. The next day we may talk to you the value of helping us helping negotiate deals with you and all this, because we know different things resonate with different people. Now I'll tell you, as it relates to today's topic, unfortunately, you could say it's kind of a little bit of a downer. Whereas before we talk about all our successes, well, when you're talking about do I partner with someone or do I not partner with someone, reality is do it because you're mitigating the downside. Let's face it, if you could guarantee 100% you're going to be successful, why partner? So it's really kind of so it's as we talk to you guys about this, we're using some examples where things went wrong as a reason to partner with you or for you to partner with us or to be part of our partner-driven coaching program. But let me give you just like some harsh reality. Let's say you decide to do a deal yourself. And let's say, unless you have plenty of capital, you're going to be probably, like the deal's done 8 to 9. But if you go get down the financing route, sometimes people have no idea how much that financing is costing them. You think, well, I'm just going to go borrow the money. And you're just like, and the conversation starts and stops right there. But have you ever figured out what financing costs you? Number one, let's start about with the facts. It's going to cost you money to get into financing. There's very few people. I'm a private lender myself. So, I finance people every day. But I'm not going to give everybody 100% of all the capital to get a deal done. So if you got a deal and you're coming with me with a $200,000 deal, you better be prepared to easily put anywhere from $60,000 to $40,000 down, between 10 and 20%. That's just the way it works. In this hard money, private money world, 10 to 20%. And by the way, anyone that tells you, well, we'll finance, up to 95 or 90%. What they're not telling you is all the other costs that go above it. The closing costs, the points that have to be prepaid, blah, blah, blah. So when you add it all together, you're not going to get away with somewhere between 10 to 20, sometimes 25% down. So number one, if you're going to go the financing route, be prepared to put 10 to 20, 25% down. If you go down the financing way, you better be prepared to escrow quite a bit of money payments. Now, what do I mean by that? Bottom line is people think, well, I'm in the deal. Phew, thank God I saved up enough money. I'm good. Well, guess what? 30 days later, you're going to have to make another payment. And usually it's going to be about 1% of the loan amount. So if you're borrowing $200,000, you better be prepared to dish out about $2,000 within 30 days to make that first month's payment. And by the way, in the way it works in the private world, that ain't going towards your first principal. That's like, poof, gone, $2,000 out the door, never to be seen again. Because most, in this world, in this financing business of working with private lenders or hard money lenders, you're making interest only payments. So that's like $2,000 gone. 30 days later, another $2,000 gone. Another 30 days, $2,000 gone. Now, let's say you get into the deal, and now you spend an extra 2 to 3 months in it longer than you thought on the construction side. Which, by the way, if you got a construction project that's anywhere over $20,000, be prepared to be spending more time in it than you thought. Just it's like if your contractor's saying I'll be out in 8 weeks, just automatically put 15 weeks down. Just the best thing that'll happen is they'll come in a little bit earlier, but the chances are that ain't coming in earlier. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now you got to sell the property. Well, guess what? At best, at absolutely best, if you're prepared to sell it today, you're at best 2 to 3 months away. That's like if a contract comes in today. That's if the inspection goes perfectly. That's if that loan closes within 45 days. I mean, like 8 stars need to align for that thing to close out within 60 days. And guess what? When that contract comes in, you know what's going to say in that contract? Inspection period. And guess what that means? They're going to get some hard ass to go inside that house because remember, it's a fixer-upper, but they think they're buying a brand new home because every buyer thinks that every fixer-upper needs to be fixed to the level of a brand new home. And that inspector that's making $400, do you think he's ever going to turn in an empty report? No way. No one's going to hire an inspector that gets the reputation for finding nothing. So then that inspector is going to go into your property that you just kind of did your best to fix it up, and they're going to beat the crap out of it. And they're going to come back with and Julie can attest to this. I mean, we've seen like, how big are these reports, inspection? How many pages are they usually?
At least 35. And another thing that I want to get on hard money lending is yes, you're right. It costs more than what people think. It's a harder process than what people think. But have you not noticed lately that these hard money lenders are becoming more like conventional banks? The requirements are like conventional banks. So you'll be 4 or 5 weeks into a deal thinking you're going to be able to close it. And guess what? They never close the deal. You lose relationships, you lose time, you lose money. And they don't care whether or not you lost your earnest money. They really don't. And for a lot of you guys, the earnest money and the 10% down is all the money you ever had. So you just really need to be prepared. If you're going to get into this business and deal with hard money, you need to know what's involved. Hard money lenders work on commission. So it's not up to them to tell you whether it's a good deal or not. It's how much commission they can make for loaning you the money. No. I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's the way that it is. Hey, Elise, I'm so glad you're here.
And let me just kind of break this down to numbers. After borrowing, millions and millions and millions of dollars in my 20-year career, when you start out, you could easily just, if you're in a spreadsheet, easily give up 20% of your profit to the money guy. That's like a no-brainer. That's like a 4 or 5 month deal. That's like everything. But here's what you got to understand. Almost no deal goes the way you want it to go, so that's going to cost you more. Almost no deal goes shorter than you think, which means it's going to cost you more. And here's the other thing you got to understand if you want to go down the borrowing route. You know, Julie and I brought up some real life experiences that we're going through right now with some challenges, and not to us, they're not really challenges. They're just everyday deals, and we handle them, and everyone's going to make money in the back end, and we're all going to be high-fiving each other. But here's one thing a lender will never, ever, ever do for you. When something goes wrong, they're not going to show up at that property like we do and fix the problem for you. When the contractor walks out, they're not going to be on the phone getting other contractors there. When the realtor brings the wrong buyer to you, they're not going to be reading your purchase contracts and say, oh, look at this. There's a catch in here. When all of a sudden you need an extra like $20,000 in this deal that Julie and I just talked about, you think you're going to call your lender to lend you that money and said, listen, I really screwed this one up. I need an extra 20 grand. Like, don't even make that call, because that not only will they not give it to you, but you're going to panic them. You're going to alarm them, and they're going to be like on you, like white on rice. You're never going to get that money back to them. The last thing you want to do, oh, actually, gosh, we got, I don't know if Roth is still listening. Shay, he came from the back end. The last thing you want to do is get a lender involved when you got a problem, because lenders are very finicky people. They don't want to hear about problems. They don't want to hear that your construction is 20 grand over. They don't hear that the 6-month loan you gave them is now going to be an indefinite loan and you have no idea when you're coming out. They don't want to hear that, like, oh, wow, I'm now like managed to flip this property upside down. Now I'm upside down in this whole thing. That's not what lenders do. So the bottom line is a lender is not a partner. A lender is not a partner. A lender is a lender. Just like a contractor is a contractor. And a realtor is a realtor. Everyone in that deal is in there to make money off of you. The realtor wants their commission. The contractor wants their fee. The guy wants their points and interest. The realtor that sold it to you wants you to be a little bit stupid so they can make the commission on the sale. Every single person, if you think about it, involved in that deal, every single person is making money off of you. And here's the kind of reality about it. Every single one of them is making money whether you make money or not. See, when that contractor makes their $10,000 fee and you sell that property at a loss, you think they're going to say, like, listen, I just had this brilliant idea. The 10 grand I just made on you, here's 9 of it. Heck no. Realtor that said they could sell it for 100 grand, then you need that 100 grand to turn the deal. And all of a sudden, the best they could do is sell it for 85, and now you're coming out of pocket $5,000. You think that realtor is going to be like, well, you know, the 6 grand, the whatever, 5 grand I'm making on it, you know, let me give you 4 of it. You think the realtor that sold you that property in the front end and misrepresented some numbers is going to take that call from you 6 months later when you tell them, you know what, that property sold for me for 100, you know, and you told me I could sell it for 100, I'm only selling it for 80. Some money back. You think they're even going to take that call from you? You think that hard money lender that you owe 4 points to or 3 points to is going to come off their points just so you can make a little bit more or not lose as much? The only person that gives a darn about you in the deal is a true partner. Partner is somebody who makes zero money unless you make money. That's really the reality of it. You know, it's nothing to do with being a nice guy. We could sit here and say we're the nicest people in the world, but we could be total jerks. It has nothing to do with who's nice and who's not nice and who likes you and who doesn't like you and who's black or white or man or woman or East Coast. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with when are profits made. And a true partner like us, why you should feel like beyond happy to be working with us, is we don't make a dollar when the property's bought. We don't make a dollar when the property's fixed. We don't make a dollar if financing needs to be put on the property. We don't make a dollar realtor's commission on the back end. We only make our first dollar when you, as our partner, and us are selling it. So it don't matter if we get along or not, although we get along with our partners. It don't matter if we're here in Atlanta or with you in Iowa. It don't matter what Julie's and our intentions are to do this. Some people say, well, you guys are just trying to get more deals done. Well, yeah, no shit, we are. But who cares? The only thing that matters is what is the intent and when are profits split up. And so when you look at this from a business perspective, when some of y'all already part of our partner-driven coaching program, or some of y'all are like sitting in the fence are like, well, gosh, do I want to do that? Yeah. Or some of y'all are trying to figure out, do I want to bring deals to these guys? Yeah. It's kind of that, this is a bad comparison. And I'm not comparing it to this, but it's the only thing that kind of comes to mind when people say unconditional love, right? People are like, always say, well, I got unconditional love, or I got unconditional friendship, or I got this, I got that. Well, in real estate, unconditional love is when do you make your money and when do you split it? Mm-hmm. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. I get it. Everyone. No one's ever come to me and said, Pete, keep a little bit more. Everyone comes to me and says, I want a little bit more. But the reality is, the reason that we want to do deals with you all is because we're going to stay in there with you till the end. Come hell or high water. Good or bad deal. Problems or no problems. Issues or no issues. We're going to be in there. The one thing that Julie and I have never, ever, ever done is walk away from a partner or a deal. Have we had challenges along the way? You better believe it. And we'll have challenges going forward. I guarantee you, whatever deal we buy tomorrow, we will have challenges on it. That's why what you're getting when you're working with Julie and I is the two things that most of you lack: experience and money. And we feel so confident in our experience and our money, we take no money out the long way. See, there are some copycats, people that do this kind of a program across the nation. I know a lot of them, but guess what? They make a little money on the front end. I'm going to make a lot of money on the front end. A lot of them actually want to sell the deal to the partner. They're like, well, yes, we're going to partner with you on the deals we find and you buy. And we're going to fix them. So they make money on the flipping the deal to you, which you're not realizing. They're making money on the construction, which you're not realizing. And if the deal goes to hell, that's fine, because they already made their 15, 20 grand. That's these famous bus tours that people pack, these gurus pack people in. Not us. We don't make a money on the front end, middle end. We only make money on the back end.
Hey, Peter.
Go ahead.
So Mark had a question. How long does it take to get a yes or a no, you will be partnering on a deal? How or where do we submit the deals? And I would like to answer that. Mark, if you are working with either Peter or myself or a combination of both of us on a deal, we know about this deal prior to you ever going on the appointment, okay? And we're going to give you specific criteria on what we buy and what we don't buy and what we're looking to do. So that's how you submit a deal, is whenever you're working with us one-on-one. I mean, strangely enough, and I know this is antiquated, but I have this book here of everybody that I worked with, every bit of personal information I know about them, every deal they're working on. That's the level of commitment that Peter and I have. And I would say, every day, every other day, Peter and I go over everybody that we work with one-on-one. And we're not talking about Monday through Friday. We're talking about all week. That him and I go over each person we work with, because, as he was mentioning about the downfalls and about everything that we do, most of all, guys, we care about the people we work with, and we 100% want them to be successful. So whenever you do work with Peter and I one-on-one, before you ever even try to go get the deal, we've already told you how to go get it and whether or not we're going to approve the deal. So no, there's not some internet-based program where you can submit a deal. It's talking to him and I one-on-one, submitting a deal or not. sometimes that may mean talking to me and me calling Peter to talk him into spending his money. That happens a lot. It's weird how him and I have it's like a mama daddy relationship where they may say, you know, they'll call me and ask me for it, and then I got to call Peter and talk him into it. But look, guys, we're here for you one-on-one, 100%. And yes, Elisa, there is an upfront cost to working with Peter and I one-on-one. Our time costs money. And really that separates people, you know, that we are looking to do deals with. Because if you're not looking to put money into yourself, then why in the world would we put money into you? I know that's really ugly to say, you know, and I'm sure you're going to be amazing, but I don't know, Peter, maybe you can expand on that.
Well, it's as simple as that. I mean, you know, people, here's the reality of it. If you're not willing to invest into yourself, we're not willing to invest into you. I mean, it's really no more complicated. And if that needs to be explained to you beyond that, that probably you're not the right partner for us. And I hate to say it, you might not even be really a business owner kind of mindset. So here's the facts, guys. Never, ever, ever let money get in the way of success. Because the cool thing about what Julie and I have devised in our partner-driven coaching program is that the kind of money that people put up to work with us is something that 100% of people can get. 100%. How do I know this? Because I used to freaking 20 years ago sleep in my car for a while when I ran into problems in this business. How do I know this? Because I used to eat freaking, my one meal a day used to be in hotels, in a breakfast that served hotels, and that's how I would eat. So I paid a big price to be successful in this business. So when people say, well, I don't have the couple $1,000, really? Well, go get a job. Go get a second job. Is your future not worth it? Mm-hmm. If the reality is you're not willing to do that, then you're probably not. It has nothing to do with Julie and I. We got plenty of people that want to work with us. You probably are not the business mindset. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I talked to a guy today that called me, and when I got done talking to him about what we do, he said, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And he followed up that sentence, but I ain't going to do it because I'm scared that you're going to screw me. Oh my God, really? Seriously?
I mean, I've had people say that to me as well, Peter. You know what? Do you know how quick my lifespan in this business would end if I messed somebody over? You know what I mean? I'm in the business of helping people, right? And I don't know that outside looking in that you can, you know, that people can get that and relate to that. But not only do we want to help people, but I want to love the people and love on the people we work with. And I think that's why it's so special. But, you know, Lisa, I appreciate you, you know, asking that question. And if you would like to know how much it costs to work with Peter and I one-on-one, what you need to do is go to www.coachingbypeter.com, and you will get a call from either Peter or myself or one of our associates, and we'll explain everything to you in great detail so that there's no questions. You know, I don't want to discuss on a webinar how to work with us one-on-one because it's important that we get to know you and get to know exactly what your intentions are, because sometimes things change for people that we talk to. Wouldn't you agree, Peter, that, you know, as you talk to certain people, some of the things we do change based on the person we talk to? And it's much better to go to coachingbypeter.com and you know, fill out the little thing there. That way you know to call us. We know to call you.
Guys, so the answer to your question is absolutely. But let me leave you with this final thought, guys. We've never done a deal with a partner where a partner didn't make money. It's as simple as that. We've never done a deal with a partner where the partner didn't make more money than it cost them to get started with us. We got a pretty much 100% record. So the decision today for you all is very simple. You want to make more than you spend. It will cost you some money to get started with this. Will you spend $1 to make $2? It's really no more complicated than that. We have a track record, we have history, we have credentials, we're all over the internet, so we're not hiding from anyone. We got our phone numbers everywhere, so we're not trying to deceive anyone. We are exactly what we say we are. So for those of you all that want to be part of a partner-driven coaching program, like Julie said, simply go to www.coachingbypeter.com. In there, you'll get more information. You'll see some amazing people with their faces, with their names, giving testimonials, talking about real-life deals done by real-life people. Get more information there, and then either fill out a form, and one of us will touch base with you. There's a phone number on there that you could call. But guys, I will tell you, if you fill out the form or if you call, be ready to move forward. Because Julie and I are very busy with people that do want to move forward. We're very committed with people that are action takers. If all you're looking for is information to put in your bag of 30 other things that you're looking at, we're not your people for you. Sorry, we're not your people. But if you're ready to take action, if you're ready to invest time, money, and energy into your future, and you're ready to have a blast doing it, because I promise you, we have a blast doing it. You don't know how many texts I'm getting. I keep on looking down. It's from some of y'all that are listening to this webinar. You know, I just got 3 texts in a row, literally basically saying the same thing. Hey, you the man, you know? I mean, this is really cool. So I know we resonate with the right people, and we're excited. But guys, whether you do a deal with us or you don't do a deal with us, we strongly encourage you all to do the business. We do hope you do the deals with us. We do hope you become part of our partner-driven coaching program, because in that program, we're going to help you find deals. We're going to help you secure the deals. We're going to fund 100% of the purchase. We're going to fund 100% of the rehab. We're going to help you fix the deals. And then we're going to sell them together. We're going to split the profits 50-50. If you're trying to figure out, well, is this for me? Well, I don't know. Is that for you? Us help you find it. Us use our money. Us help you fix it. Us help you sell it. And we split the profits. If you're still thinking, well, shit, I don't know. I need more information. Don't inquire. You're not the right person for us. But if you can kind of see and say, well, that's pretty damn awesome, then we want to talk to you further. We want to get a better feel for you. So for those of you and if you fall in that category, go to www.coachingbypeter.com, fill out the form. We'll touch base with you, and we'll look for doing some deals with you.
Absolutely. And you know, and Dana, I want to give a shout out to Dana down there in Florida. She said you answer your phones. That's impressive. Dana, not that I want a lot of, we want people just like you. Dana's been with us a couple of weeks. Before she even started, she was already working on a deal, but she understands what this business is about. And I'm so proud and excited to get to know you. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for partners that are looking to be successful without making excuses. Is that ugly to say, Peter?
No, hell no. You're too soft. Everybody was like, Pete, you're too hard. You're too hard. You're too hard. No, I'm just real. Mm-hmm. Everybody, listen, a lot of people get in because of me, but they stick around because of Julie. So I get it. So anyway, listen, we had a great time with you all tonight. Well, we look forward to working with a number of you all, and it's a great business, and we'd love to partner with you guys. See ya.
Bye.